All right, everyone, welcome back into another NBA prop betting video. We are going to be starting out here with the first game, which is going to be the Clippers versus the Magic. Now, when we look at this game from a spread standpoint, it is a 5.5 point spread in favor of the Magic winning, which is a little bit interesting. Consider Banchero is still out for them, but we do know that the Clippers have been pretty bad. Obviously, they're 4 for 10 on the season. Kawhi Leonard is out for them. Derek Jones is also out for them as well, so that makes sense. The real issue with this game is going to be the low point total, guys. It is at 218.9 on average, so I think naturally we want to be looking for bets in which we are favoring the under. That being said, we are getting some interesting over bets, I would say. So Bojan Bogdanovic to get over 2.5 assists is not a terrible bet, guys. This one has a 52% likelihood to end up hitting. Okay, if we look at the splits, he's been someone that has been consistently getting this over. And then if you also look at it with Kawhi Leonard off the court, he is someone that per 36 buys does average that. But if you look at his minutes, they have been a little bit sporadic, 26, 35, 37. The good thing is that this game, again, is projected to stay close. So if you want to get to this over bet, I would understand it there. And we also are getting Jalen Suggs to get over 13.5 points. Again, a very low scoring game, so we don't like that aspect of this, but good matchup for him. We look at the splits, has been someone that's been basically right around there in every single game thus far. Projected at 26 minutes, I think that's a pretty accurate projection. If we look at the game log from his last game as well, guys, only 4 for 11 with 0 3 balls made. So you wouldn't expect that to occur again. And if he's going to shoot that many, that honestly gets me a little bit more encouraged to be on that bet. So, two okay over bets in this game. But again, we probably want to be looking at more of the under bets. And with that, I don't necessarily see any great bets for that. Now, we do have Anthony Black for over his fantasy score. Another bet that's kind of checking all the boxes. We don't necessarily love it, but with Banchero out, it is a bet that I do think we could end up chasing. Projected at 33 minutes, could end up getting a little bit more than that, again, with this game being a little bit higher scoring of a game. So really not a terrible bet there. It's just I don't really want to get to all that many bets here in this game where it is a low scoring game. Chris Dunn to get over 2.5 rebounds, 52% likelihood for this to hit. I don't necessarily want to get to this one. I know the data is kind of liking that, but really 3 bets that I like in this game, and then the rest I'm kind of just staying away from. Now, I do think it's worth calling out. We might get a prop line difference for James Harden. As you guys have seen between Prize Picks and Underdog, we have seen a decent amount of prop line differences for his fantasy score lines. So when Underdog comes out with those prop bets about an hour after this video is uploaded, be on the lookout for that. That could end up being a good spot. But now let's go ahead and get into the Hawks versus the Spurs, guys. So what I find interesting about this game is that we are gaining a little bit of an opportunity here to bet on the spread. The tough part here, I think Vegas is struggling with, is the questionable tags for Porzingis and Reichelsher there for the Atlanta Hawks. We do know that for the Spurs, Wemby is out, Harper is out, and also Castle is out. And so that is nice, but there is a little bit of an opportunity betting the spread. Total-wise, 232.5. I kind of agree with the game total there. So guys, 4 bets in this game. There's really only one that I do end up liking. That's actually Keldon Johnson to get over 14.5 points. Now this is going to end up being a bet that you guys would want to get to more on a traditional sportsbook site. Again, if you guys are someone that just plays specifically on Prize Picks or Underdog, I would try going to Sleeper. As you guys know, I have a promo code going on there. You guys get $50 when you spend your first 5. Promo code is 9to5. Link to that in the description below. If you guys want to, play on Sleeper, that's a good way to kind of bet on Keldon Johnson. So the big reason as to why is we kind of look at the last game where we had the exact same situation. He ended up playing 30 minutes in that game, which is huge. And with that, he ended up getting 15 points. His per 36 production, guys, with those players off the court is 23.3 points. His line is at 14.5. This is actually a bet where I think you could end up teasing it. Basically, it's a bet on the minutes being there or not being there. I'm a little bit confused as to the line that we were getting with him. I would say his fantasy score line is a little bit appealing as well, but if he's going to get his over fantasy score, it's also going to be because he does end up getting his points. But either way, both those bets end up looking like 2 pretty solid bets. And then De'Aaron Fox. So De'Aaron Fox let us down in the last game because he didn't get that many assists. He ended up getting his over points, but I think the lines that we're getting on De'Aaron Fox in this game, where it is projected to stay close, decently high scoring game, I do think it's just correct. Okay. Looking at it, guys, it's at 25.5. He averages 26.5 points with all those players off the court. So a little bit of an edge there, but also not too much as a whole. We go ahead and zoom back out into the top prop bets that we're getting. Dyson Daniels to get over 5.5 rebounds. He's been able to get that, 3 out of the last 4 games. We like that. In away games, he's averaging the over as well, which we do like to see that. Julian Champagny for under his fantasy score is another bet that's, popping up pretty much here, or pretty well here. I do like this bet. I think that's a bet that we could end up getting to. We'll bet the less than there. Hopefully he doesn't see a random spike in minutes. Then from there, if Porzingis does end up playing in this matchup with Wemby off the court, it's not a terrible spot for him to get to, especially with Trae Young off the court. His usage goes up a massive amount, and you would expect him to get a lot of shot attempts up. We have him projected for 26 minutes. That's the biggest difference as to whether or not he's going to be able to get this over. We would want him to get a little bit more, probably closer to 30. With the game projected to stay close, I do think there's a decent opportunity for that. And we are getting Jalen Johnson, 44 for his fantasy score. He has been crushing this, again, with Wemby off the court. That does benefit the Hawks. So honestly, now that I'm looking at it, a little bit more of a game stack. That was kind of the theme yesterday, guys, where we were getting a lot of really good games to game stack. The Portland-Chicago game went as expected, minus Josh Giddey, who was disappointing. But that's kind of what we have here, I think, with the Hawks and Spurs. Decent high-scoring game, close game. And I think we could attack some of these overs that we were getting, especially because I do think, again, it ends up being a good spot here with Wemby off the court. And so, yeah, Jalen Johnson, Kristaps Porzingis, let's get to those overs there as well. We're going to go ahead and jump on into the next game, which is going to be my Milwaukee Bucks going against the Sixers. Now, this game is pretty interesting, I would say. You got Giannis, who's out. We know that. And so we'll talk about who to be targeting due to that. But you also have the Sixers potentially without Joel Embiid in this game as well. So interesting there. That really dictates this game and how we would attack it. 2.5 point spread right now. Lower scoring game, 224.8 on average. Now, one of the better bets that we are getting just on the board in general today is Ryan Rollins to get over 2.5 3-pointers made. With Giannis off the court, he does average 3.2 3-pointers made per 36. He is someone that probably will end up getting more than 36 minutes. I know we only have projected for 30. This is a game that is at least projected to stay close. Now, who can we expect to really benefit with Giannis off the court? Well, I do think it's Ryan Rollins. If you're not getting to his over 2.5 3-pointers made, I don't mind that. I think his fantasy score line is a little bit too high right now, but his points line to me, again, seems to be a little bit too low. This is a bet where I would actually want to get to it more so, again, on Sleeper, where you're going to get rewarded for the lower likely bet to end up hitting. Okay, this bet has a 51% chance for the under to hit. His per 36 production, though, with Giannis off the court is 25 points. That's plus 7 more points compared to his average. So I do end up liking that. He also gets a little bit more assist as well. And so I actually don't mind his over 5.5 assists, but really at 27.5 points and assists, this is another one where I do think we could end up getting to the over. He averages 7.2 assists per 36 with Giannis off the court as well. His usage goes up by almost 10%. That's really the key here, guys. So I do like Ryan Rollins in the spot, but again, it's going to be more of a traditional sportsbook spot that we're getting there. Worth calling out, Bobby Portis and Kyle Kuzma have been a little bit annoying in regards to which one it's going to be. I actually don't mind the idea of teasing this a little bit where you're just bumping Bobby up to like 15.5 points, or Kyle Kuzma as well, where you're just bumping them up a little bit more. It really just depends on which one is hot shooting the basketball, and that's going to be the one that goes off. One of them should have a good game. And then for what's worth, guys, Miles Turner as well averages actually 1.6 more rebounds per 36 with Giannis off the court, which puts him at about 8.4 rebounds. So this line also is a little bit too low. Again, this is all predicated on Joel Embiid hopefully sitting here for the Sixers. It is the back end of a back-to-back there for them. And one of the players that we were on yesterday was VJ Edgecombe, because we knew that the Sixers were banged up. Now, today we do know that Paul George is expected back, which does change a little bit the bets that we can be on for them. But I still think Edgecombe is going to be someone that we can get to. We see yesterday's game, really good stuff there from him as expected. Shot the basketball a bunch, 8 for 20. Don't necessarily love that, but shot the ball 20 times. We like that. Ended up getting 21 points in that game. Really just all the bets for VJ Edgecombe are going to be good bets for us. His 14.5 points to me is a very strange one. Okay, so with Embiid off the court, with the Bona off the court, and with Kelly Oubre off the court, guys, he averages 18.4 points and 4.9 rebounds. So I like his points line here, but at the same time, I think we could end up getting to his points and assist here at, they bumped it up to 18.5. I had it at 17.5 earlier on the day. Still too low because he is someone that, again, averages 18.4 points with those players off the court. And so you would expect him to be able to get to that over there as well. So really just all the bets for him are seemingly good spots. And the nice thing about his assist is it is at 4. His points is at 14.5. So when you go with his points and assist at 18.5, you're not losing out on it. Typically, it'd be bumped like 19 there. So either way, his fantasy score or his points points and assists. We'll go with his points and assists here. And then we go heading into the late night game. We do got to get word on whether or not Sabonis is going to end up playing tonight. This is the back end of back-to-back there for the Kings as well. DeMar DeRozan was a letdown on the bet of the day yesterday, guys. He started the first half pretty poorly and then had a pretty good second half. That being said, this game here is going to be a 2.5 point spread in favor of the Grizzlies winning. Game total 234.5. So a decently high scoring game. A little bit of a stacking opportunity here, especially if Sabonis does end up sitting. He is currently questionable. Keegan Murray is also probable here for the Kings, so that does muddy up the plays that we can be on there for them. But for Memphis, guys, they are still extremely banged up, but on top of them missing Ja Morant, they're also going to be without Jaren Jackson Jr. in this game here as well. And just starting out with like the best bets in this game, we do have Zach Edey to get over 5 or 9.5 rebounds. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's fine. Okay. You look at what he did last game, 11, the game before that 7, and it really just depends on his minutes. 25. I think he'll end up being 25 again. So I don't really want to mess around with that. I was hoping we'd be getting an advantage with his minutes. We're not. So not worth messing with that. Cedric Williams is interesting here, who's been playing extremely well lately with all those players off the court. I don't mind the idea, Cedric Coward. I don't mind him for getting his over fantasy score, especially in a game stack. I think this ends up being a decent spot, but really, if we're betting on him, I think we might as well just go with his points. He is someone per 36 wise with Ja and with Jaren Jackson Jr. off the court, averages 24.2 points. Now, we're not expecting him to get 36 minutes. We're actually only projecting him to get 27. Even if he still ends up getting that, guys, that should be enough. Don't be surprised, though, if he gets closer to 30 minutes in this one, if it does indeed end up staying close. So that's another one where I don't mind it as more of a traditional sportsbook bet. Now, he does average 10.4 rebounds as well with them off the court. So if you want to go with his points and rebounds, you can there as well. So really, both those bets to me do seem to be pretty good spots. And then from there, we also are getting Vince Williams in a good spot here. Now, we're not really getting that much data coming in on him just yet, besides the prize picks lines that we are getting. But for him to get over 29.5 for his fantasy score, I don't mind that. Per 36 wise, all of his lines to me do seem to be a little bit too low. He averages 19.6 points, 5.1 rebounds, 4.3 assists. So really, just in general, all the bets for him to me do seem to be a little bit too low. If you want to get to his over points, you can. His over fantasy score, you can as well. Either of those are going to be good, game stack bets that we are getting. And then for the Kings, guys, I'm mostly staying away just because we do not have the news on Sabonis yet. And for me, not really worth it there then. And so going ahead and getting into the bet of the day here for today, guys. Again, some of these are going to be better traditional sportsbook bets that we are getting. So like Keldon Johnson over 14.5 points, a better, more traditional sportsbook bet. And then we are getting some okay stacking opportunities. Again, I do like stacking the Spurs versus Hawks game. So if you want to get to Jalen Johnson as well with Porzingis for over his fantasy score, I do like that. Anthony Black to get over his fantasy score. We got VJ Edgecombe. I'm still getting to that one. Again, I had it at 17.5 points and assist earlier. Still okay getting to that bet at 18.5. Bogdanovich to continue to stay hot with the assist at 2.5. So overall, decent bet slip here. As always, guys, as the day progresses, we'll be getting some underdog prop bets for the fantasy score lines specifically. So just be on the lookout for those and kind of compare them against the prize picks lines that we are getting, because that can create some big edges for us. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for being here. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.